I was 12 years old when I met our first guest, and believe it or not, he actually entertained the idea at that point of becoming a priest. 16 years later, here he sits before me, a hemorrhoid-laden, penile, dysfunctioning, porn-addicted host of one of the most popular television shows in cable, The Man Show. Please welcome the skipper to my Gilligan and my best man at my wedding that never happened, Jimmy Kimmel, everybody.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Great. This is very weird,
This is very, very weird. This is like Ahmad interviewing Michael Jordan. Or,
right. I guess I get to be a mod, huh?
No.
Yeah.
This is a man that is easily responsible for my entire career. I was actually your intern.
That's right.
In radio.
At a little tiny radio station in Palm Springs, California.
Yes.
Where you were living with your parents, and you were a golf student.
That's right. I wanted to be a golf pro. That's what I wanted to do with my life.
He majored in golf in college.
Yes. Isn't that nice?
Majors in golf. And I suggested that you drop out of college immediately and join me in radio. And I recommend that to anyone really watching.
This is. Everybody asks me, how did you get your start in the business? And I go back to these stories of me being an intern for Jimmy at this radio station in the small city of Palm Springs. And he used to just make my life a living hell.
Really?
Yes. I was just your toy,
well,
and I was at your expense.
That's true. That's true.
Yes.
We did. Well, you were what? 17 years old.
Yeah, I was 18.
It's 18. That's right. You had to be taught some lessons. We
Right.
dressed you up a few times.
Yes, you certainly
Do you remember anything that you wore in those days?
Yes. I'm still fearful sitting in front of you. And it's my show. I shouldn't
Yeah,
be.
no, you definitely shouldn't be. In fact, you should have forced me to get into something.
We tried, actually.
Yeah.
We thought of it at the last minute.
Yeah.
There was this main street in Palm Springs. It was, you know, like Broadway here in New York. It was the main artery that ran through. It was called Fred Waring. And, of course, Jimmy decided to come up with a radio bit. What's Fred Waring? I was Fred. And at 7 o'clock in the morning, he would put me out in like a tutu in the middle of this intersection, and people would call in and identify what I was wearing. My mother's still upset with me for that one.
But look what happened to Fred.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fred's doing all right.
That's right.
Speaking of NBC for a second, after Jimmy and I had worked in radio and become very close friends, we had a lunch once, I don't know if you remember this, at Paquito Mas, right across the
little
street.
Mexican restaurant.
From NBC in Burbank. And you said, Kid Carson, because that's what he called me.
Yeah.
I have a great idea for a television show, The Man Show.
Right. That's right. And it was great, right?
It is great.
It turned out all right?
Why The Man Show? What have we as men been doing wrong for so many years that we need almost a guide to be a man?
Well, the real reason that I was drawn to The Man Show is because women in general hate me. And I figured, why even bother trying to get them? But I just think that on television, there's a certain dishonesty. I mean, you watch any McDonald's commercial, and it's like the mom leaves for the weekend, and the dad can't even make eggs. You know, instead he takes the family to McDonald's because he's trying to barbecue an egg or something ridiculous. And I don't know. I just watched it. I was like, oh, that's nonsense. That's not how it works at my house. My dad can make eggs. You know, I could handle the kids if I had to. And these little things bother me. I know they're stupid, but they do. And I thought there should be a show for guys. There's all these shows for women. There's Oprah. There's Sally Jesse Raphael. There's Montel Williams. He's a woman, by the way. He had a sex tape operation. But I thought, hey, a show for guys with just girls jumping on trampolines and drinking beer and scratching yourself and all the good stuff.
If you haven't seen any of The Man Show, and you're a big part of all of these things, let me just show a clip of this Emmy Award-winning, lovely stuff. Roll it down. Jimmy Kimmel, The Man Show.
Thanks for tonight. It meant a lot to me, you know. Tina hated those things. She didn't understand. It's the business. You got... Oh, sweet heaven.
That's some good television right there. Congratulations. That's my favorite, by the way. You know, I love monkeys.
Although I know you do love monkeys. Although that monkey was in a bra and panties, that was actually a male monkey which had an erection through that whole scene. And I know you love monkeys. Have you ever seen a monkey penis?
No, I have not.
Any of you ever seen a monkey penis?
By a show of hands.
Well, like I'm the weird one. No, it looks like a pig's tail. It's curly.
That's
it comes
great,
out.
Jimmy.
It's like
Thanks
going to Carl's Jr. It's really nice.
No, that's disgusting is what it is.
Can you talk about monkey penises
Sure
this
you
late?
can,
Yeah.
yes, the show's on. You must be a nightmare for standards and practices and the censors at Comedy Central.
Yeah, we are. We really are. I mean, we're outraged.
How far
every
can
time
you go? I mean, have you thought of anything that they said, no way? I mean, you just had sex with a monkey.
Yeah, yeah.
What can't you air?
You know, they have a problem with midgets sometimes. We had a, you know, as you know, home, you know, especially in the winter months when it gets cold outside, midgets can infest your home. And one of our writers, Jordan, who's actually outside, had an idea for a midget flypaper, which was flypaper that they'd run on and get stuck. It was baited with cotton candy. And apparently they prefer we treated, not even say midgets, but also treat them as human beings.
It's like a midget motel.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. We'll talk more about monkeys and midgets with Jimmy Kimmel of The Man Show right after this.
Chevrolet presents Olympic Pride, honest values, enduring quality, American tradition. 20 years before Lake Placid, a group of American amateurs produced the original hockey miracle, also on home ice. At the 1960 Olympic Winter Games in Squaw Valley, the young U.S. squad stunned the favored Soviets and went on to win America's first ever ice hockey gold. Chevrolet, proud sponsor of the 2002 U.S. Olympic team.
After the new Chevy Trailblazer, everything else just seems kind of weak. The all-new 270 horsepower Chevy Trailblazer, like a rock.
Goodbye, mop and pail. Hello, pledge. Grab it wet.
This is wet. How easy is that?
It's a lot easier than my mop and bucket.
You can see how much it's cleaning.
When the house is clean, I feel like a better mom.
Pledge Grab It wet floor wipes.
This is my new bucket, and this is my new mop.
1 can of milk chocolate on the wall, 1 can of milk chocolate. Take it down, pass it around, no more cans of milk chocolate on the wall.
Finally.
99 cans of milk chocolate on the wall.
When was the last time you celebrated absolutely nothing but the pure joy of being alive? Barbados, just beyond your imagination.
7-day air-inclusive packages start at just $949 per person. For more information, call Liberty Travel at 1-877-824-5555.
I'm here with The Man Show's Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy, a toast to you.
Yes.
This is a great night for us, whether people recognize it or not.
Yeah. That's right. We went through.
Go on the internet. You'll read all about it.
We had a lot of adventures in radio where we started.
Yes.
We worked at radio stations together, and we got fired. Well, I got
Jimmy
fired.
was fired from every radio station, honestly, he's ever worked for.
Yeah, except for one.
Except K-Rock.
Except for the one, yeah, except for K-Rock, and except for the one I worked out with you, actually.
Yeah, but that was just a week away.
Yeah, it really was.
That's for sure. One thing
one
of the connections that we have was that my father was in a fraternity with this guy named the Fox, and we met when I was like 12. We were talking about this as a common interest because he was a big fan.
Yeah.
He was the world's fastest beer drinker. This guy was crazy. You should explain him because it gets into the beer drinking on your show.
Well, he was on the first season of The Man Show, and he plays the piano and sings dirty songs, and he can chug a beer as fast as you could throw it on the floor.
Too.
He'd stand on his head and he'd chug a beer. I mean, he was my idol when I was in high school, you know. and he died actually, but yeah. I know, it's not funny. It's not funny. We were very sad. But Carson's dad was in a fraternity with him. And I was just like, I immediately idolized his dad, too, because, you know, to be in a fraternity
my dad
with the
snuck
Fox.
him and a friend in to see the Fox in California at like a bar where you couldn't get in.
We were like 16 or 17 years old. They made us drink apple juice. for the first half, and then the Fox said, well, maybe you guys can have some of this low-alcohol beer. It's not bad. And by the end of the night, we're doing shots, you know. Yeah.
Do you drink real beer on the Man Show?
Yes. Yeah.
How do you get away with that, A, and how does that affect, do you ever get wasted?
Well, it's cable, so we're allowed to drink beer, and I think we're the first ones to explore that.
I'm sure you were.
I said, it's cable, can't we drink beer? They're like, I don't know, let's find out. Yeah, you can. And I don't usually get drunk, but Adam, who's a bit of a panty waste, to be honest, he gets drunk and he can't read cue cards as it is. It's a mess, and he has to go do his radio show usually after the show, so.
Right.
You know, we can't have him loaded, so he'll usually mix it up a little.
Tell me about when you went to Snoop Dogg's house.
Snoop Dogg, well, as you know, I'm a homie from the LBC. Snoop Dogg was kind enough to invite us to his house, and we had a whole plan as to what we're going to do. We're going to do this joke and that joke, and we got there.
For the Man Show, you guys were going to shoot for a bit?
Yeah, and Snoop took us into what he calls his green room. And I'll leave that to your imagination, what goes on in there. And when we came out in a cloud of smoke from the green room, I was out of my mind. I walked right into the camera. And I tend to get hungry when that kind of thing happens. And we'd ordered Kentucky Fried Chicken, and I just grabbed a whole bucket for myself, and I'm eating it just furiously. And Snoop and his buddy are standing in the corner, and Snoop looks over at me, and he gives his buddy one of these, and he goes, my nephew over there done ate 6 pieces of chicken already. I'm his nephew.
Uncle Snoop. Too bad we didn't have him on the radio shows. That would have been great. It's funny, all of this debauchery that your life is about, girls jumping on trampolines, the beer drinking, hanging out with Snoop, it's ironic that it comes from a man that has, how long have you been married?
14 years.
14 years you've been married.
All fake. I'm actually gay.
How? How does your wife react to all of these things?
Well, you know my wife. She's mean, so she doesn't really react to me at all. There isn't much in the way of reaction. I was like this. When we were kids, and I'll probably always. I mean, my dad still thinks farting is hilarious, so I don't think anything's going to change for me anytime soon.
It runs in the family.
Yeah.
Speaking of being married, I was going to be married.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody knows if they've read up on it.
Yeah.
Jimmy was going to be, I asked him to be the best man at my wedding.
Right.
And we were very excited about it, and although I was scared to death of the bachelor party, I have to ask you about that if you had anything. We actually came close to the wedding date. But something I always was excited about was the toast that the best man had to do. If you could, it would be an honor if you could maybe recreate that moment. Since I'm not getting married, it didn't work out. Can you still give me my toast?
I actually did kind of think about what the toast would be, and I guess, well, you guys, congratulations on being invited to the wedding.
Yeah.
First of all, but I think it would have went something like this. Yeah, no, you sit down because that's how it works. Carson and what was that lunatic's name?
No.
Talking about his mother.
No, get into it. We're at the wedding.
I've seen him go from a boy to a man. I've seen him go from an intern at a small market radio station to a network television star, and very proud. I've seen him date some of the most beautiful women of all kinds, and now, Carson, you've decided to settle down. Are you f***ing nuts?
I will drink to that.
I did have a serious talk with you because I was like, what is he getting married for? I thought it was crazy.
Come on,
and I had a very serious talk, and you convinced me that it was the right thing to do. What?
When did you get married?
I was practically a fetus when I got married.
You got married on like a golf course when you were like 16.
I did, yeah.
And now you have all these strippers and hot chicks around, and you're still faithful and loyal, and you're married.
I mean, I cheat. I like to have sex with them. I probably shouldn't have said that.
Gina, put the kids to bed.
It's all right. All I have to do is ask my wife for sex around 11. She'll go right to sleep. Never see this.
How much sex are you getting these days?
Not much. Not
really,
much
honestly?
At all.
If I had gotten married, what would my life have been like? What's the first year, the sex and honeymoon period? When does it
For me, it actually stopped shortly before we got married. She said something about wanting to make it special for the wedding night, and then, you know, she said something about wanting to make it special for the 10-year anniversary, and it's gone on from there. And as you know, I have some stitches in my private parts right now. So
we are going to take a quick break. Jimmy will elaborate on his stitches.
I'll show it. Yeah.
Hey, no, you're not going to show it. We'll talk about it when we get back. More Jimmy Kimmel on Last Call after this. Nice speech.
One of these women uses Suave Professional's Awapui shampoo. The other pays more for Paul Mitchell Awapui. Both are salon tested. Both leave hair shiny and gorgeously soft. So, who uses Suave and who spends 3 times as much? If you can't tell, why should we? Suave, don't you look smart?
Alert! You have reached the end of the internet. You have seen everything there is to see.
Oh.
Please go back now.
Experience the joy of DirecTV DSL. Call now and pay only $39.99 per month for your first 6 months. Call 1-800-BEST-DSL now.
I thought you were surfing the internet.
Yeah, I finished it.
So, what are you thinking?
Right now, I'm thinking threesome.
Thankfully, there's lots more guys to choose from at Lava Life. It's the newest place to click with people. I can either use my phone or the web to find the right guy for me.
Oh, I think I put my thong on backwards.
At Lava Life, every guy has a profile that I can listen to on the phone or read on the web to find out what they're like. And they can find out what I'm like from my profile. I just exchange messages with them and find someone. At Lava Life, even the type of relationship is up to me. I can meet guys just to be friends, guys to date, or guys who want a serious relationship. I get to choose.
I think you look beautiful tonight.
Bingo.
My sleeves, we're going to get down and dirty with Jimmy Kimmel. He's athletic and mysterious. You like that?
Yeah, I like that a lot.
All right, good.
Yeah.
We're off to a good start.
Yeah.
You mentioned you had surgery on your penis, Jimmy.
I did, yeah.
This is no laughing matter, by the way.
No.
Jimmy sent an email to all of his close friends saying, honestly, don't, like, you know, call me and, like, poke fun at this matter. I know everything in my life is fun and games, but so I never called you after the surgery.
I know, because
I didn't know. Honest, this is true.
Right after you have surgery on your penis, the last thing you want is 25 people calling you and going, "So what happened?" You know?
Yeah, but you make jokes at so many people and, like, you know, pranks and stuff.
I know, but I was medicated. I really didn't want to talk. I mean, they had to reopen my penis.
What happened? What is wrong with your penis?
My penis shut down for the holidays. And like the cabin in The Shining, it just closed down, and it had to be reopened. And the reopening process was not a pretty one. I don't recommend it for anyone.
What did they do? It was shutting down? You couldn't pee?
Yeah, I couldn't pee, and yeah, and also I have a thing I'm able to do where I shoot whipped cream out of it, and I couldn't do that either. But they cut it open.
All right. How are you feeling now? In your way, is the cabin going to open here soon?
Now I have hemorrhoids, but otherwise I'm fine.
I told the network I need an hour show. I want to hear about the hemorrhoids.
Yeah, I do.
Are you sitting in the pillow? All weekend long he's had a pillow with him.
I forgot. I left it in the room. It's my best friend, and I forgot him.
If you don't know Jimmy from The Man Show and you're a sports fan, you certainly might know him from the pregame Sunday football show on Fox. And I know, other than making your predictions, I don't know where this came from, this clip. Let me play this down. You can explain it later.
You go first.
Well...
Go ahead. Go ahead, Howard. Go ahead, Howard. Surprise to me. We'll try to reestablish the football.
Why were you dressed like a woman? And you're stunning, by the way.
I like to feel pretty. I was just like a woman because I lost a bet, and the bet was that between Terry Bradshaw and I, whoever lost had to dress as Jillian, the weather girl. We actually tied, so we each wore like the outfit, and Terry had pink leather pants on there you couldn't see. And I figured while I was at it, I mean, everyone knows about the unspoken sexual tension between me and Howie Long, that I would consummate our relationship once and for all. Actually, Howie, there's nothing Howie's ever hated more in his life than me kissing him on the set, and that's why I did.
As we watch it, we're never really sure, you know, how much of the feud is real.
Yeah.
Or what do they think of you bringing this sort of man show mentality to football that these ex-real players take very seriously?
They think I'm a dick with a capital D. They really don't. I mean, they really don't understand why I'm on the show, and I've taken their time away from them, and they don't think I'm funny, and I make jokes about them, and they get mad. And you know,
you ever see them?
Yeah, I see them every once in a while, and it's funny because they all, you know, they all try to be nice because they don't really. I mean, in a way, these guys are scared of me. I mean, it's kind of weird because
I know the feeling.
They're big, scary guys, but they are a little bit scared.
You could make their life a living hell.
Well, I pointed out that Terry Bradshaw was bald. It's something I thought everyone was aware of. He apparently didn't know about it and was not amused when it came up.
How about the old school broadcasters like John Madden or Pat Summerall? How do you get
they
along?
really like me. They
must just hate you.
Yeah, they would probably kill me if they got the chance. John Madden hates me, and Pat Summerall really, really hates me. I don't blame them either. I'd hate me too if I was them.
Yeah.
I love John Madden too. It's weird because I always thought John Madden's the ultimate guy. He drives around the country in a bus with satellite dishes on it, eating ribs like an animal, just shoving ribs into his face and watching football games. I thought, this is the greatest guy in the country. And it's weird to have a guy you love hate you. It's like if Jesus said, I love everyone but you. I don't like it.
Now that you're so involved in the sports world, have you ever met any sports idol of yours? I know you're a big Steve Garvey fan.
Yeah, I loved Steve Garvey, the baseball player for the Dodgers and the Padres. He's my all-time favorite. But I also, Joe Montana is my favorite football player. He called me the other day.
Why would Joe Montana call you?
Because I keep calling him over and over again. I said, all right already.
What did you talk about with him?
We talked about, we're going to do a little golfing maybe.
No, come on.
Carson actually taught me to golf. And,
no, please.
Well,
Jimmy's the greatest person to go golfing with because he just gets drunk immediately. And I even wanted to play pro, so I take it very seriously. You know, and whenever I go out with you, we'd make, when you would make an 8, you called it a monkey.
I call it a monkey. There's a birdie, there's an eagle, and for me, there's a monkey. The first time I ever played golf was with Carson, and I brought a huge cooler full of beer and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, wait. First of all, let's say where it was, though, so it makes more sense.
Where?
At Riviera?
No, it was in Palm Springs,
okay.
and it was a beautiful golf course, and I carried out this huge thing of beer, and Carson looks at me and he goes, where are we going to put the clubs?
Jimmy went, oh, what clubs? You
that's
need
interesting.
Clubs? So they were driving. We have my cart with my dad, you and whoever, and then just like the beer cart that followed us.
The beer cart following us.
Yeah. You know, we have the Olympics here on NBC early in February. Any sport you're looking forward to at the Olympics?
It's the Winter Olympics. You know what I like to see is wiffle ball. I like to see that. I don't know if it would be in the Winter Olympics, but I really think it would capture my interest. And are the kids still playing wiffle ball? Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Thank God. Thank God. Yeah.
We'll get some snow. Oh, what the hell is a crank yanker? This is your new endeavor on Comedy Central.
A crank yank. Well, it's the name of the show is Crank Yankers, and it'll be on in a few months. But it's I love to make prank calls, as you know, and I thought, well, we got to figure out a way to get this on television. And the way to get it on television is if you use puppets to reenact the prank phone calls.
Right.
And we get all these comedians. We got some great comedians, Tracy Morgan, David Allen Greer, Kathy Griffin, Sarah Silverman, Susie Essman, all these great people, and myself and Adam Carolla, and we make these prank calls.
You actually make the calls.
Yeah, and then we make puppets, and we have the voices go along with the thing.
Real quick, since we're on late at night, do you have any crank phone call tips?
Well, it's important. Well, this is good because it's important to make prank calls really, really late at night because that's when it bothers people the most, I think.
So now's a good time.
Yeah, yeah. If you can call crazy people, that's another another thing. But I don't think with blocking and caller ID, it's real. You know, it's really put a crimp in the crank calling, and I'm hoping to bring it back.
All right. When's it on? A couple months?
It'll be on in, I think, May.
All right.
On Comedy Central.
Great. We're going to take one final break. We'll wrap it up with Jimmy Kimmel right after this.
His name is Henry, Clay Henry. He's a fireman and a Jared fan from Subway. He got real big on burgers and fries. Now he's down to a smaller size. Gets his might from his Veggie Delight. Great taste each day from his local Subway. He's Henry, Clay Henry.
With exercise and a diet including Subway's 7 delicious sandwiches with 6 grams of fat or less, people like Clay Henry are inspirations for everyone.
Subway, eat fresh.
Proud sponsor of the American Heart Association's Heart Walk.
Dr. Scholl's next stop, New Orleans.
So how do your feet feel?
That's pain.
Well, this is our Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insole.
It's like a spring. The massaging wave system gives you more cushioning than regular gel ever could before.
It relieves tension in your feet.
It feels like it's massaging the foot.
Dr. Scholl's, treat yourself right.
If your pencils look like mine did, there's something you can do. Ask your doctor if the Nicotrol inhaler is right for you. Or for more information, call 1-800-INHALER. Call today.
One of the best ways to have a great time is to make sure that everyone gets home safely. So if you drink, do it responsibly. Select a designated driver. We want everyone to be safe and have a great time. Select a designated driver.
The Long Island Fur Factory has just completed the greatest sale in our history, but we still have a huge collection of fur and leather to be sold now. This will be a final fur disposal. No reasonable offer will be refused. Take advantage of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to own the fur of your dreams before our inventory is sacrificed to the dealers at a fraction of its original cost. This is it, the final fur disposal. No reasonable offer will be refused, so hurry in now. Only at the Long Island Fur Factory in Westbury, across from the Westbury Railroad Station.
We are out of time with Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy, who got me into this business, I will ask you now again, do you have any young advice for me, who was once your intern at a radio station?
Please, please stop smoking crack. Your mother loves you.
Thank you, Jimmy. Jimmy Kimmel, everybody. Nice enough to swing by. Him and his hemorrhoid. We'll see you tomorrow night.